I played against Martin, one of the lowest rated bots on chess.com at an elo of 250. Starting the game, I played e4. He played e6. So I decided to take more of the center with d4. Then he plays the inaccurate move bishop to d6, which I guess is inaccurate because it blocks one of his center pawns. What a baka. I continue developing. He continues to be a silly Billy. Knight f3, c5, e5, harassing the bishop. Instead of acknowledging the threat on his bishop, Martin makes the brilliant move, knight to a6. Amazing. I bet even Magnus Carlsen wouldn't be able to find this move anyway. I take his hanging bishop, taking up valuable space in the opposing king's territory. b5, bishop takes b5, killing the pawn that just took its first steps, like a hawk spawn camping a newly born baby turtle. Hawk to a h5, castles, f5. Then I take his knight, because I'm up in material. The move is considered inaccurate, since I guess it gives the bishop a powerful outpost. And there's also that saying that you generally shouldn't trade a bishop for a knight. But I don't care since I'm molesting Martin either way. No, Diddy. He takes back. I bring the rook out, and then eventually the queen. He brings his queen out too, threatening my weak pawn on c2, but I don't care. I take his pawn on g7, threatening to take one of his rooks. Eventually I take it, and he castles so that his knight doesn't get touched inappropriately. I bring out the bishop to protect my pawn on d6, and the knight to protect the pawn on c2. He hopes to make his knight more active, bringing out to f6. However, he forgets that his rook is unprotected. So the queen hits the second tower, aiming for the pentagon next. King moves. Queen takes the knight on f6. King moves again for the love of the game. I put the king in check, hoping to find a mating threat soon. Bishop comes in to save the day, but my rook comes in to steal Martin's wife. Martin's lovely wife moves out of the way, but now it's mate in 6 moves. Rook b5 check. King a8. Queen c7, resulting in a queen trade. a6 to prevent rook b8 mate. But I make the move anyway, forcing the king to a7. Now it's over. With bishop to e3, it is checkmate. A perfect victory. This was truly one of the most anticipated games of 2025. A 250 rated bot against a 1050 player who plays only rapid chess. I played against Wayne, one of the lowest rated bots on chess.com at an elo of 250. Fun fact, he's Singaporean.
Have you ever been a member of the Chinese Communist Party?
Senator, I'm Singaporean.
Anyway, he begins with the white pieces, moving the knight out to c3. I push my pawn out to e5. He pushes to e3. Simple chess, so far. Thank goodness he's respectful enough to not attempt a scholar's mate, or else I would have pinned him against the wall and unleashed my Mr. Beast. d5, taking the center. Early queen move to h5, since you know Wayne loves to simp. I protect the e5 pawn with knight to c6, and Wayne does the unthinkable by sacrificing his queen like a Japanese kamikaze pilot. What the helly? Bro is not him. I take his queen on move 4, and he continues playing like he didn't just lose 9 points in 2 seconds. For a moment, I consider promoting all of my pawns to queens to punish this baka for not immediately resigning. But I'm a merciful man. Back to the game. h4, knight to f6, bishop to b5. I copy him with the intention of trading, since I'm up on material. We get to this position where the knight is on the side of the board, and I get the idea to make it even more inactive. a6. Then by moving my pawn to b5, I force the knight to c3. Initially, I was going to take with the bishop to force a double pawn structure, but I had a better idea. Pushing my pawn to d4, I force the knight to move back to its home rank, undoing his development. His knight should get a passport for how much it travels. I bring my other bishop out, which lets me push my pawns deeper and deeper, penetrating the enemy territory. Full Diddy. Wayne is going to feel these millimeters. I take his bishop while retreating my own. He pushes his pawns, and I take one of them after he accidentally leaves it undefended. Finally, I fork his rook. He takes my pawn, I take back, and now I'm up 17 points on material. I feel like I'm on top of the world, but it still could be anyone's game if I inhaled copious amounts of lead. king to g1, bishop to g4, planning to take one of the knights on the same diagonal. He saved the knight on e2, while the knight on d1 goes knight-knight. Rook to h2, queen to d7, planning to infiltrate this web of pawns. Although they look strong, the queen can get through pretty easily when it gets on a light-colored square, since his pieces are only on the dark squares. Pawn to d3, making a one-move threat, and of course, I take it. Rook h3, pawn to d2, and now I'm promoting my pawn to a second queen, which makes Wayne start sweating profusely. His queen has turned on him and plans to tickle him so hard that he passes away. The king flees. Queen moves to d2, planning to take on f2. Bishop to c3, failing to see the idea. f2 check. It's mate in 2. We are going to peg him. Knight to block the incoming threat. But here comes a bishop on the other side, forcing Wayne to play like Germany, fighting a war on two fronts. Bishop to b4, and I checkmate Wayne with his beloved piece, the queen. After this game, I jump Wayne for his lunch money, and I want to grab ice cream with these two beautiful black queens. Like and subscribe, so you can witness me demolish Fabian next. I played against Fabian, one of the lowest rated bots on chess.com at an elo of 250. He comes from Gibraltar, a British territory, which is located at the tip of Spain and close to Africa. Pretty interesting, right? Let's see if his playing is as interesting as his heritage. I start the game with e4 as always. He plays this North Korean odd gambit, and I'm immediately determined to punish him for it. d4, knight to c6. Not a bad move. I add a second defender with knight to f3. He attacks with his a5 pawn, pushing to a4, and I block it with a3. I'm on him like white on rice. Close as a shadow, stuck like glue, in the thick of it.
This is so
amazing. I love it so much. You deserve a standing ovation. Wow. e6, bishop to c4, preparing to castle, and Fabian decides to donate his queen like I'm a charity. Thank you, Fabian. The donation will be going to the St. Jude's Foundation. I guess you can't be a 250 rated bot without sacrificing.
That's right, you guessed it.
Your queen. From here, it's basically a speed run to checkmate.
You're really playing the Karagan? No.
The bishop takes g5. Pawn to d5, takes, and knight to e7. Pretty solid moves. If Fabian wasn't so bad, he'd be good. Wow. I take his other knight, since I'm up in material. He takes back, weakening his structure with double pawns. I don't know why he didn't take with the knight. Double pawns is like when you try to get out of someone's way, but they do the same thing. So you guys end up in each other's path again, and you guys low-key start playing 7 Minutes in Heaven and Star Family. Back to the game, I take his final knight, and he takes back with his bishop. I castle. He attacks my rook, which I use to pin the bishop to the king. For some reason, he doesn't castle, and instead pushes his kingside pawns. Holy cannoli. What is bro doing? The queen goes to c3, targeting the double pawn with a dream of forking a rook. But his Pookie Bear doesn't want that to happen. So his light-squared bishop decides to sacrifice himself. Remember me? And my rook helps him with his noble sacrifice. However, it's inevitable the double pawn will be taken. So it moves to c5, and my queen takes it with no remorse. This is like when Asuna got 200 pumped in front of Kirito.
Goodbye, my nigger. Back to the lobby.
So sad. The bishop can't take my queen because it's still pinned by my rook. My queen is rage baiting the bishop 2 squares away. The king moves to escape this pin, but he's made a grave error. Oh no. It looks like the rage bait worked. Now it's mate in 2. I take his bishop with my rook, forcing him to go to the back rank, and I end the game with a checkmate. Queen takes c7. Magnificent. Like and subscribe so you can see me go against one next.